You ever have that one neighbor who thinks she's the queen of the block, and your front porch is her personal punching bag? Mine's Eleanor Vance. Yep, the Eleanor, HOA president of Stone Ridge, strutting around like she owns our souls. I'm John Carter, retired Marine, 58, living in a tidy split level at the edge of this suburban maze. My place is simple: a porch with a rocker, a garage full of old tools, and one glass case glowing with pride. My son Matt's marine dress blues, displayed next to an American flag. It's not just fabric. It's his blood, sweat, and brothers, a tribute to his years serving this country. Clean, honorable, ours. Enter Eleanor. She rolls in a silver Lexus SUV. Because of course. As HOA chair, she's got Stone Ridge on a chokehold, fining mailboxes for wrong shades and towing cars for half-inch violations. At first, it was just her glares at my flag, too bold for her beige empire. Then came the letter, stamped with her name, calling Matt's uniform case an eyesore and non-compliant with community aesthetics. An eyesore? I laughed, tossed it in the trash. That uniform's seen more honor than her clipboard ever will. But Eleanor doesn't knock politely. 2 nights later, I woke to a stench, burning fabric, thick, clawing my throat. I stumbled to the porch, heart pounding, and froze. The glass case was shattered, jagged edges catching streetlight. Matt's dress blues, his pride, his promotions, his fallen brothers, lay crumpled on the lawn, flames licking them to ash. The flag, trampled in the dirt. I roared, grabbed the hose, sprayed till my hands shook, but it was gone. Charred scraps, gold buttons warped, marine emblem blackened. My chest burned, not from smoke, fury. I'm no tech guy, but my security cam is. Footage showed Eleanor, 50s, red blazer screaming authority, with her lapdog Tom Langley, HOA enforcer, sneaking at 2 a.m. They ripped the case open, dragged the uniform out, and lit the match. Her smirk, clear as day. No shame, like they were burning old rags. I stared at the screen, fists clenched till my knuckles popped. They didn't just torch fabric. They spit on my son's service, on every Marine who's bled for that uniform. Matt, 28, lieutenant, got home that morning. He's built like me, wiry, quiet, but his eyes, usually steady, broke when he saw the ashes. He knelt, boots crunching charred cloth, fingers tracing a melted button. "This isn't just a uniform, Dad," he whispered, voice raw. "It's everything I fought for." I put a hand on his shoulder, silent. Words didn't fit. Then another letter arrived. Eleanor's nerve, in ink. The burned scraps, a waste disposal violation. Fined $500. Matt crumpled it, his jaw tight, something dangerous flickering in him. I called my old Marine buddy, Nick, a tech nerd who hacks for fun, showed him the footage, the letter. "They burned Matt's blues, Nick. I want her to pay." His grin was sharp. "Pay? John, we'll make her choke on that match." See? We rigged a plan. Post the footage online, tag every veteran group, let the Corps see her crime. I slapped a sign on the porch. Marine Honor Display. Deface at your peril. Bold laminated Eleanor proof, or so I thought. Next night my cam pinged. Eleanor, 11 p.m., reading the sign, laughing, snapping photos like a tourist. She didn't touch anything, just strutted off, but Matt saw it live from his phone. "She's taunting us," he said, voice low, Marine steel in it. Nick texted. Footage uploaded. Veterans pages lit up. By morning, comments flooded. "Disgrace." "Semper Fi, Matt." And a local news van parked nearby. Eleanor's Lexus cruised by, her face sour. Small win, but sweet. Then Nick dropped a bomb. He'd poked into Stone Ridge's HOA server. Eleanor wasn't just a pyro. She was a tyrant. Fines for kids' bikes, Christmas wreaths, targeting veterans, immigrants, anyone who didn't bow. One email showed her fining a widow, Mrs. Nguyen, $2,000 for unapproved shutters, threatening foreclosure. She's not just after Matt, Nick said, eyes hard. She's crushing everyone. I gripped the sign, the fight bigger now. Eleanor thought she ruled Stone Ridge, but I had her match and her secrets. This wasn't about blues anymore. It was war. Eleanor Vance didn't just torch Matt's marine dress blues that one night. Her silver Lexus was back 2 days later, cruising past my porch, her smirk aimed at my new sign like a dart. Marine Honor Display. Deface at your peril. I flipped on my security cam's live feed, watching her snap photos, probably planning her next move. Nick's uploaded footage of her fire-starting stunt was blowing up online, veteran groups sharing it, comments like "Semper Fi, Matt" pouring in, but Eleanor wasn't sweating. She thought she ruled Stone Ridge. Nick's bombshell about her HOA server, though, that kept me up, pacing my garage. Eleanor wasn't just a uniform burner. She was a dictator, fining neighbors into the dirt, her red blazer a war flag. I leaned on my porch rail, Matt's melted uniform button in my pocket, and knew this wasn't about ashes anymore. It was about breaking her reign. Nick rolled up that morning, his laptop glowing with hacked HOA files. "John," he said, adjusting his glasses. "Eleanor's got a playbook. Fines, threats, pure power trips. Look," he spun the screen. Emails from Mrs. Nguyen, the widow across the street, begging to cancel a $2,000 shutter fine or lose her home. Eleanor's reply was cold. "Comply or sell, Mrs. Nguyen." My fists tightened. Mrs. Nguyen, 70s, lived alone, always waved when I mowed my lawn. I'd seen her struggle with groceries, never complain. Now she was Eleanor's target. "She's not just bold," I said, cracking my knuckles. "She's a bully." Nick nodded, his grin sharp. "There's more. Eleanor's pushing a community standards vote at the HOA meeting tonight. Wants every house to remove clutter, like flags or displays. Guess who enforces it?" Let me guess. Her cronies? I raised an eyebrow. Yup. Her buddy Tom Langley's firm, Vanguard Compliance. Nick smirked. "Your uniform case? She's calling it divisive to justify her fines." I laughed, bitter. She burns Matt's blues, then calls us divisive? Classic. We needed Mrs. Nguyen. I knocked on her door that afternoon, Nick at my side. She opened it, frail but sharp-eyed, her porch tidy, despite Eleanor's fines. "John, what's this about?" she asked, glancing at Eleanor's house like it was a sniper's nest. "Eleanor," I said, low. "She's bleeding you dry, same as us. We've got proof." Her eyes flicked to Nick's laptop, then back. "She'll take my home. I can't fight her." "You're not alone," Nick cut in, voice firm. "She's doing this to everyone. Help us, Mrs. Nguyen." She hesitated, then nodded. "She called me yesterday, said if I don't back her standards vote, she'll triple my fine. Meeting's tonight." I grinned, "Then we crash it." Stone Ridge's HOA hall was a sterile box, Eleanor's throne of folding chairs and burnt coffee. She stood at the podium, red blazer gleaming, pitching her standards plan like a used car salesman. "Uniform displays divide us," she chirped, her smile plastic. "Mr. Carter's case proves it. Community unity works." I strode in, Nick and Mrs. Nguyen behind me, holding a USB with her emails and my cam footage. "Funny you mention my case, Eleanor," I said, voice carrying, "seeing as you burned Matt's uniform to make your point." The room, 24 neighbors, froze. Eleanor's face twitched, her nails digging into the podium. "That's absurd, John. You're disrupting—" "Am I?" I tossed the USB to Mrs. Nguyen, who plugged it into the projector. Eleanor's emails flashed up. Fines, threats, Vanguard deals. Gasps rippled. Mrs. Nguyen stepped forward, voice shaky but clear. "She's fining me out of my home. Who else?" A guy, Mr. Patel, corner house, stood. My shop got a $1,500 violation for a flag. I can't pay that. Others murmured, heads turning. Eleanor slammed her gavel. This is slander. Security. Nick raised his phone, streaming live to a veteran chat. Slander's on record now, he said, cool as ice. Mrs. Nguyen's grandson, watching from the back, clapped, and the room erupted, half cheering, half yelling at Eleanor. She pointed at me, venom in her eyes. You'll regret this, Carter. Security grabbed my arm, but Mr. Patel blocked them. Let him go. We're done with her rules. We were pushed out, the hall chaos behind us. Nick checked his phone. Stream had 300 views already. But as we hit set to true, Miss Nguyen whispered, She's got my mortgage docs. Bank's hers. Now. I gripped the USB, Eleanor's threat echoing. She wasn't done, and her next move was coming. Fast, dirty, and aimed at Matt's honor. Eleanor Vance's threat at the HOA hall. You'll regret this, Carter. Stuck to me like ash from Matt's burned dress blues. John Carter doesn't scare easy, but her glare was a loaded rifle, and that live stream Nick blasted, now at 300 views, had Stone Ridge buzzing. We'd exposed her emails, fines, Vanguard compliance scams, but Eleanor wasn't running. Half the neighbors rallied with Mrs. Nguyen. The other half clung to Eleanor's HOA crown. I stood on my porch, Matt's melted uniform button heavy in my pocket, my sign, Marine Honor Display, deface at your peril, glinting defiantly. This war was about to get uglier. Nick screeched into my driveway at dawn, his laptop spitting new dirt. John, she's swinging hard. Eleanor's bank, Stone Trust, just froze Mrs. Nguyen's account. Claims it's delinquent. Total garbage. I slammed my coffee mug down. She's gut-punching a widow to shut us up. Worse, Nick said, eyes blazing. She's emailing the HOA board, accusing you of inciting unrest with that footage. Wants an emergency vote to fine you $10,000 for defamation. I laughed, more snarl than joy. She torches Matt's blues. Now I'm the troublemaker. My sign felt like a paper shield against her. We needed Mrs. Nguyen's fight. I found her at her porch, watering her roses, hands trembling. Her face was pale, eyes darting. John, the bank says I owe $12,000 Eleanor's doing. I'll lose my house. Show me, I said. She handed over a letter. Stone Trust's logo, Eleanor's signature as community liaison, demanding payment or foreclosure. Nick snapped a photo, muttering, She's not liaison. She pulls their strings. Mrs. Nguyen's voice cracked. Why me? I just spoke up. 'Cause you're loud, I said, clapping her shoulder. And she's scared of loud. Nick's plan was bold. Crash Eleanor's bank meeting that night, where she'd push her fine on me. Mrs. Nguyen hesitated. Her grandkids needed her safe, but nodded. For them, she said, her roses a vow. Stone Trust's office was all glass and fake smiles. Eleanor's stage. She stood at a conference table, red blazer screaming control, pitching to suits and HOA loyalists. Carter's a menace, she said, voice syrupy venom, inciting chaos, defaming our standards, $10,000 fines generous. I walked in, Nick and Mrs. Nguyen flanking me, holding her foreclosure letter and my burned button. Generous, Eleanor. I tossed the button on the table, its warped gold glaring. Freezing Mrs. Nguyen's account to silence her? That your community standards? The suits shifted, uneasy. Eleanor's smile froze, her nails tapping. You're out of line, John. This is private. Is it? Nick plugged his laptop into their projector. But based on Mrs. Nguyen's letter, Eleanor's emails, bank records flashed up. You pull bank strings, push foreclosures, then profit from Vanguard's compliance. Private, huh? Mrs. Nguyen stepped forward, voice steady now. She's stealing my home. $12,000 I don't owe. Who's next? Mr. Patel, shop owner, gasped, his own fine fresh. Eleanor hit my business with $1,500. Same bank. The room split. Half glared at Eleanor, half at us. A suit stood. This is unverified. Verify it, I cut in, sliding Nick's USB across. Unless you're in her pocket too. Eleanor lunged for the laptop, but Nick yanked it back. Live stream still rolling. Smile, Madam President. 600 views and climbing. Neighbors outside pressed against the glass. Phones up. Mr. Patel rallying them. Eleanor's eyes darted, her throne wobbling. You'll pay, she hissed, storming past, but Mrs. Nguyen blocked her. No, you will. My grandkids deserve better. The suits called security, shoving us out, but Nick's stream hit 1,000 views. Stone Ridge was waking up. Back at my split level, Mrs. Nguyen slumped against my porch rail, letter in hand. She'll hit the bank harder now. My house. I nodded, the USB warm in my pocket. Then we hit louder. But my cam pinged, a figure by my flagpole, not Eleanor. Too tall, tampering with the ropes. Her game wasn't over. It was darker, and we'd just upped the ante. Eleanor Vance's shadow loomed larger than her red blazer after that bank meeting brawl. Her hiss. You'll pay. Burning hotter than the flames that ate Matt's dress blues. John Carter doesn't flinch, but catching someone tampering with my flagpole on cam last night wasn't just bold. It was Eleanor's spit in my face. Nick's livestream, now at 1,000 views, had Stone Ridge split. Half the neighbors chanting with Mrs. Nguyen, half still kissing Eleanor's HOA throne. My porch sign, Marine Honor Display, deface at your peril. Stood proud, but the melted uniform button in my pocket felt heavier. I rewired the flagpole's light, Matt's eyes watching me, marine steel in them. Eleanor's crown was cracking, and I wanted it shattered. Nick burst into my split level at dawn, his laptop a war chest. John, Eleanor's desperate. She's got Stone Trust filing a lien on Mrs. Nguyen's house today. Claims she's non-compliant with her standards vote. I gripped my wrench, the flagpole tamperer's shadow replaying in my head. Too tall for Eleanor. She's hiring goons now? Worse, Nick said, scrolling. She's emailing Vanguard Compliance, wants your flagpole confiscated as unpermitted, calls it a visual hazard. I laughed, sharp. She burns Matt's blues, now my flag's a hazard. Cute. My sign felt like a toothpick against her. We needed Mrs. Nguyen's grit. I found her in her garden, pruning roses, her hands steady but eyes tired. John, the bank's sending appraisers tomorrow. Eleanor's pushing foreclosure. My grandkids... She trailed off, voice breaking. Show me the lien, I said. She handed over a notice. Stone Trust's stamp. Eleanor's name as oversight chair. Nick snapped it, muttering, she's burying her to scare us. Mrs. Nguyen looked at her roses, then me. I'm out of moves. Not yet, I said, mind racing. Tonight's HOA board review. Eleanor's pushing my fine. Nick's eyes lit up. The lien vote? She'll be gloating. Mrs. Nguyen nodded, slow. For my grandkids, I'll go. Matt stepped out, his boots heavy on the porch. I'm in too, Dad. His voice was low, the lieutenant in him awake. He'd been quiet, but that button in my pocket was his fire now. Stone Ridge's HOA office was a pressure cooker by dusk, Eleanor's kingdom of clipboards and stale donuts. She stood at the front, red blazer a battle flag, waving Mrs. Nguyen's lien like a trophy. Mrs. Nguyen violated standards, she purred. Foreclosures for the community's good. I walked in, Nick, Matt, and Mrs. Nguyen at my sides, holding the tampered flagpole rope, frayed ends glaring. Community good, Eleanor. I tossed the rope on her desk, knots snarling. Your goon cut my flagpole last night, caught on cam. That your standards? The board, 5 neighbors, including Mr. Patel, gasped. Eleanor's smirk flickered, her nails clicking. That's vandalism, John. Prove it's me. Nick plugged his laptop in, my footage rolling, a hooded figure, but Eleanor's silver Lexus parked nearby, clear as day. Same car you drove when torching Matt's blues, I said, voice steel. Matt stepped up, holding the lean, his marine posture rigid. She's bankrupting Mrs. Nguyen. $12,000 for shutters she can't afford. Who's safe with her? Mr. Patel stood, voice shaking. She fined my shop $1,500. Bank's hers. I'm selling. A loyalist, Mrs. Klein, snapped. Sit down. She's keeping values up. The room split, shouts flying, half for Eleanor, half against. Nick hit his phone, live stream restarting. Let's ask Stone Ridge. 2,000 views now. Faces popped up. Veterans watching, typing, Stop her! Eleanor's eyes widened, her gavel slamming. This is anarchy. You're banned, Carter. Matt blocked her path, voice raw. You're done burning my brother's honor. Mr. Patel grabbed Nick's laptop, zooming the rope cut. This isn't leadership. It's sabotage. Security shoved us out, Eleanor's scream following. I'll own your house, John. But Nick's stream hit 3,000. Stone Ridge was rioting online. Mrs. Nguyen's grandson waved from her porch as we passed, a rose in his hand. You okay, Grandma? She hugged him, whispering, Getting there. Back home, my flagpole was dark, ropes dead. Nick checked his hack. Eleanor had emailed Vanguard. Seize Carter's property. Matt stood by the porch, eyes on the flag's shadow. She'll hit Mrs. Nguyen's house first. I tightened the ropes, sign gleaming. Then we take her crown. But my cam pinged again. Not a tamperer this time. A truck circling, Stone Trust's logo glowing. Eleanor's next hit was rolling, and Matt's hand was on his phone, texting his old unit. The Marines were coming. Eleanor Vance's Stone Trust truck circling my split level wasn't a warning. It was her last gasp. John Carter doesn't fold, but that bank logo screamed trouble. My flagpole stood tall, ropes fixed, sign, Marine Honor display. The face, at your peril, gleaming. Nick's livestream hit 3,000 views, exposing Eleanor's scams, liens, Vanguard deals. Stone Ridge was fracturing, half cheering Matt, half clinging to Eleanor's HOA crown. I gripped Matt's melted uniform button, Marines on speed dial. This was it. Her throne was dust. Nick crashed my porch, laptop blazing. John, Eleanor's collapsing. She's called an HOA emergency summit to fine you $20,000 and auction Mrs. Nguyen's house. Vanguard's bankrolling it. I snarled, the truck's rumble in my ears. She's burning everything to save face. Not everything, Nick grinned, pulling an email. She slipped, admitted the lien's fake to Vanguard, CC'd the bank. Carter's flagpole proves we need control. Her own noose, huh? Matt stepped up, eyes steel. Let's end her, Dad. The summit was a circus. Stone Ridge's hall packed, Eleanor's red blazer, a fading flag. She waved my fine, voice venom. John Carter's a threat, defaming our values. His $20,000 funds progress. Nguyen's auction, necessary. I strode in, Matt, Nick, Mrs. Nguyen beside me, holding her email and my flagpole rope. Progress, Eleanor? I tossed the rope, frayed ends glaring. You cut my flagpole, faked liens, and bankrolled Vanguard to steal homes. The crowd, 50 neighbors, stirred. Eleanor's gavel shook. Lies, Carter! Nick's laptop blazed her email. Liens, a tactic. Carter's flagpole shows control. Gasps erupted. Matt, in Marine stance, spoke. She burned my blues, my brother's honor. This her progress? Mr. Patel stood. She fined my shop $1,500. Mrs. Klein, loyalist, sputtered. But neighbors roared. Vote! Nick's stream hit 5,000. Comments flooding. Sack her. I raised the email. Eleanor Riggs Banks, burns honor. Who's the threat? Eleanor lunged for Nick's laptop, screaming, I'm president. Matt caught her arm. Not anymore. Mr. Patel snatched the gavel. Vote. Eleanor out. The board nodded. Mrs. Klein silent. Eleanor Vance, removed, Patel declared. Fines canceled. Gwen, Patel, all. Cheers drowned Eleanor. Nor's hiss. You'll regret this. A sheriff stopped her. Nick's hack tipped them on bank fraud. Outside, Matt stood tall, Mrs. Ween hugging her grandson. My flagpole glowed, sign proud. Nick tallied, 10,000 views, Vanguard tanking. Eleanor's done, he said. Mrs. Nguyen smiled. You saved my roses, John. I shrugged, coffee warm. Just wanted Matt's honor back. Stone Ridge wasn't healed. Klein's crew glared, values dipped. I kept the sign, trust slow to rebuild. Matt got new blues, embroidered with his fallen brothers' names. Mrs. Nguyen threw a barbecue, roses blooming. I leaned on my fence. Just wanted my flag up. Nick toasted. You got her crown. Y'all, that's the tale. Eleanor's HOA crowns ash, my flag's king. Matt's blues shine, Stone Ridge learned. Don't burn a Marine's honor and smirk. Nick's hacks, Matt's grit, and a frayed rope flipped it. Eleanor's out, Mrs. Nguyen's home, and my porch is mine. It's messy, some sneer, but freedom's a fight. Smash that like, drop a comment. Faced an Eleanor? Got a flag story? I'm all eyes. Share from Texas or Timbuktu. Let's see this spark fly. Subscribe. We're not done torching bullies yet.